You have made us for yourself, and our heart is restless until it rests in you. And isn't that him saying the thing that we've said a bunch of times in here, which is, I had a Christ-shaped hole, and only Christ can fill that hole. So we like to open every show with a proverb. Today's proverb is Proverbs 27 and 20.
Go ahead.
This one's a doozy. Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied, and never satisfied are the eyes of men. I'm going to repeat that. Proverbs 27 and 20. Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied, and never satisfied are the eyes of men. Now, I might have mispronounced
Sheol,
whatever it
Who
is.
cares?
I'm going to give those are Hebrew words. Sheol is the Hebrew word for underworld or the realm of the dead. It's described as a shadowy, insatiable realm where people go when they die.
Mm-hmm.
And Abaddon is a place of destruction. That's also a Hebrew word, described as ruin or doom. And actually, it's a darker realm than Sheol.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, this dark realm, both of these dark and darkest of realms are never satisfied.
Both sound awful.
And never satisfied are the eyes of men. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this content, we just ask you to go on and like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Comments mean all the difference in the world.
Yeah, the views, the subscriptions, everything you do is what helps support our mission, and it's what makes us move forward further. So thank you for your support.
Now back to the show.
It's the tie of those two things together is paints a very broad stroke of how deep the caverns of our mind can go based off what we're looking at, and they are never satisfied. I just think about guys today, self included, right? And always when we're talking about this, it's to what we're challenged with. But I always think about as we go through life, right, and we have these challenges that we're faced with. Sometimes they come right at us. Sometimes they're intentional that we're seeking them out. Either way, when they come up, there's a satisfaction that comes when we give in, and it's insatiable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never ending, and it's never satisfying. And so no matter how much you consume with your eyes, you'll never have enough. There'll never be a fill, especially when it comes to, as we get into pornography, there's never a time when it's like, okay, I've watched it. I think I've seen it all now. It's like it's never, and it's a progression of things. And so that's why when they tie Sheol and Abaddon together, it's like you have one that's terrible and one that sounds even worse, and it's just that progression as you go through life.
Yeah.
Just how insatiable it can be.
Yeah, sure. I wrote, it's a natural human condition. I think it is. We talked about this last week in the episode, which was, for my part, before I knew Christ, I didn't know that what I was doing was a sin by lusting, but the results were the same in the overall feeling inside when I would be left empty at the end of whatever I thought was going to fill me. Yeah?
Yeah.
And also with this piece, the eyes of man are never
satisfied.
Never satisfied are the eyes of man. I think of Christ saying, and if your eye should tempt you, gouge it out. So, I mean, Christ, notorious for taking it one step further every time.
Better to go into an eternity blind,
than to not make it to eternity at all.
Mm-hmm.
Is what he's saying there.
We're not to make an eternity with him. There's an eternity somewhere, right? It's just,
sure.
Right?
Yes.
So, better to be blind and go to heaven than have your eyes and spend eternity away from him.
So, you know who St. Augustine is? Yeah.
Augustine, man, he's one of the goats.
4th century philosopher.
Yep.
Party guy. Big time, big deal.
Crazy
Loved to
man.
party, got down, lots of women, lots of...
He's Greek.
He's Greek. In a book called Confessions, yes, he was the first usher. Nobody else going to get that reference. He said this profound statement at the further in his life after he had accepted Christ. He had become a believer.
Oh, he's one of the...
And his words are living on in eternity.
Pastor
now.
Mike reads Augustine constantly and quotes him.
So he says, and this is just fantastic, so I'll probably repeat it. You have made us for yourself, and our heart is restless until it rests in you. Again, you have made us for yourself, and our heart is restless until it rests in you. And isn't that him saying the thing that we've said a bunch of times in here, which is, I had a Christ-shaped hole, and only Christ can fill that hole.
Mm-hmm.
So all these other things I was trying to stuff in there to feel contentment and completion, validation, all of those things left me in a way thirstier for more of whatever that thing was. Obviously, alcohol for me was one of the ones that I used all the time, and man, it didn't matter. Towards the end, it was like I couldn't get drunk anymore. I was drinking to stay baseline, and I think that's what ends up happening with any of these things that you're trying to fill yourself with, is it's just a black chasm that is all consuming, and it gets bigger and it needs more all the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as we move into